smallpox, measles, polio, and diphtheria. These are all diseases that you've probably heard of at one point in your life, but thanks to vaccinations putting them to rest, we no longer see them spreading to the general population. Thanks to such a high vaccination rate in the general population, many high-risk populations, such as the immunocompromised, no longer have to worry about contracting these diseases, as we are all protected against developing them as well. I believe that everybody should be vaccinated in order to protect themselves from developing deadly diseases, as well as protecting everyone around them from contracting and spreading them as well. Especially now, when we're all stuck in quarantine due to the novel coronavirus outbreak, we see now more than ever what good a vaccine would do. It would allow us to get back out and live our normal lives among such a contagious disease. I will be talking today about how vaccines stop the spread of deadly diseases, how herd immunity helps protect high-risk populations as well as those who aren't vaccinated from developing the diseases, and I will be discussing how vaccines are one of the safest routes to obtain medication despite some opinions from people who choose not to vaccinate themselves or their children. New diseases arise every so often and affect millions of people worldwide. Vaccinations have been the only proven way to completely or partially eradicate these diseases. According to the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America, smallpox has been 100% eradicated since a vaccine was found, and measles and rubella have been about 99% eradicated, stopping the spread of these diseases and putting it to rest. Prior to the vaccinations being developed, there were between 50,000 to over 350,000 cases worldwide, which among the course of a disease would have only exponentially grown, affecting millions of people worldwide. Additionally, vaccines have been proven to be so effective, especially against children who have a much weakened immune system and have a higher risk of dying from many of these deadly diseases. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, most child vaccines are 90 to 99% effective against deadly diseases that might otherwise kill them due to their weakened immune systems. When your child skips a recommended vaccination, they are put at such a higher risk of contracting and becoming very sick from these diseases. So it is important that we vaccinate our children to make sure that they never have to suffer from these diseases that could potentially cause them great harm. Additionally, these diseases are not eradicated completely. They are still present. However, we have become so used to getting these vaccinations that we think that they aren't doing any good anymore. However, due to the fact that these vaccinations are being required, that means that they are still being effective, and if we don't receive these vaccines, then people are still going to get sick from these deadly diseases, and we will see a rise of them again. So, in short, these vaccinations are still prominent and they still save lives. Another reason everyone should be vaccinated is because when you get a vaccination, you are not only protecting yourself, but you are protecting everyone around you from contracting these diseases. Think about the people you come in contact with every day. You don't know their story, and they may be immunocompromised and unable to get a vaccine themselves. Especially with immunocompromised individuals and vulnerable populations such as the elderly, we must strengthen our own immunity since these populations are lacking in theirs. According to Dr. Shadahan Rani of the Oxford Vaccine Group, herd immunity describes how a population is able to develop immunity against the specific germ that causes a deadly disease, and it interrupts the human-to-human transmission as the infected individuals mainly come in contact with protected individuals. And this strengthens the immunity of the entire population, especially of those of high risk. However, herd immunity does not occur without the participation of almost all of the population. According to Dr. McCarthy of the Harvard Medical School, 90 to 95% of the population has to be vaccinated for that particular disease to seek herd immunity, and this means more than ever that these vaccinations should be required regardless of a person's personal beliefs, because we must protect everyone who is unable to protect themselves. By requiring it, we are doing each other and future generations a huge favor by ensuring that these diseases no longer spread. While many people around the world support the idea of vaccinations, there are still people who are refusing to vaccinate themselves and their children due to their own safety concerns. There has been a concern about the link between vaccinations and autism, and personally, I have seen that is the main concern of people who are choosing to not vaccinate themselves or their children, and they are saying that these vaccinations cause a higher risk of a child developing autism. However, according to Jeffrey Gerber of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, there has been no link between autism and vaccinations, and that is after several studies done between 1998 and 2006 with large sample sizes over several different countries with varying populations, and they have found zero link between autism and vaccinations. Additionally, parents are concerned about vaccinating their children due to harmful side effects that may occur, and they believe that these vaccinations are not safe because of that. However, according to the World Health Organization, like any medication, vaccinations do pose some side effects. However, all vaccinations on the market have very low risk of causing any very harmful adverse effects. The most common side effects are a bruise on your arm from the needle or a potential fever, which can be cured with ibuprofen. Besides, no allergic reactions are easy to predict in a child, and that's usually only occurring in 1 in every thousands or even millions of doses. At the end of the day, choosing to not vaccinate your child puts them at a much higher risk of developing a disease, and at that point, the risks of getting the vaccination do not outweigh the benefits of being protected against these deadly diseases, because contracting them, I promise, is more harmful than any side effect from getting any of these vaccinations. I hope I was able to illustrate why I believe that everyone should be required to get vaccinated. It continues to eliminate or partially eliminate deadly diseases as vaccination rates are boosted. It protects ourselves and others, especially high-risk populations who are unable to protect themselves due to their weakened immune system, from spreading and contracting diseases, and they are safe and pose very few risks to the people who receive the vaccinations, and at the end of the day, the risks do not outweigh the benefits of getting a vaccination. So I hope I've illustrated why I believe that everybody should be vaccinated, and if you want to see a world with no vaccinations, look around you. This is the world without one vaccine. Thank you.